Fall is my favorite time of the year, which is why today we're gonna make a roasted pumpkin soup with fried sage leaf and sage oil. All the flavors of fall in one recipe. And this video is part of a Halloween collaboration with 9 other of my favorite YouTube tastemakers. So at the end of this video, make sure you check out all of their spectacular recipes. Mine might not be as scary as theirs, but it's gonna be scary delicious, so let's do it. I have a heavy bottom soup pot preheating over medium heat. To that, I'm gonna add a 1/4 cup of ground Italian sausage. This is gonna add a great salty flavor and kind of a meaty backbone. But if you wanna keep it real and go vegetarian and vegan style, just skip this step. Next up, add a shot of extra virgin olive oil to the pot and grab our veggies. I have 1 onion, 2 carrots, and 2 stalks of celery. And it seems like everything good starts with these vegetables. They're actually called a mirepoix, but I call them more like a miracle because they make the house smell so good. And I swear almost every one of my soup recipes starts like this. To the veggies, I'm gonna add about a teaspoon of kosher salt, a few cracks of fresh peps. It's been 5 minutes, so I'm gonna add 3 cloves of minced garlic. And then I'm gonna break out a 1/2-inch piece of ginger and finely dice it. You could use a grater to do this, but hey, I gotta show off my knife skills every once in a while. I'll let this guy go for another 5 minutes until all the veggies are nice and soft and translucent. Now, if you follow me on Instagram or Snapchat, you know there's 2 kinds of soup makers in my house. Me, the one who makes the creamy, a little more sophisticated soups like this, and my wife, who likes to make the water-based or the consommé-based soups that are quick, easy, but hey, they're both equally delicious. Just know your part. Now I'm gonna add a 1/2 teaspoon of cinnamon, cumin, and a 1/4 teaspoon of ground cloves. Now wait, before you say, what the heck is this guy doing with cloves and cinnamon in here? Just try it. A little bit of those dessert spices, especially in a savory application with squash, just gonna tickle the back of your taste buds and be like, that Bobby really knows what he's doing. He's also pretty handsome. I might as well subscribe to his channel. At least that's what I hope you do. And now add 1 tablespoon of apple cider vinegar. That's not only gonna help cut through the richness of the soup, it's gonna scrape up those burnt bits on the bottom and release all their flavor into the soup. Now it's time for the star ingredient. I have roasted pumpkin meat, which I actually did a little bit earlier, and here's how I did it. Cut a 2-pound sugar or pumpkin pie pumpkin in half. I like to use this rolling pin, that way I don't cut off my fingers. Scoop out the seeds inside and season it with olive oil, salt, and pepper. Place the pumpkins cut side down and roast in the oven at 400 degrees for 1 hour. The outside skin should be nice and golden brown, and then scoop out all that pumpkin meat, and you can do this 1 or 2 days ahead of time. All right, so the pumpkin meat goes in the pot, along with 2 teaspoons of freshly chopped sage. I told you, this is like fall in a bowl. We're hitting all those awesome fall flavors. I'm doing about a 1/4 teaspoon of red pepper flakes because I'm kind of a wimp when it comes to heat, but you can adjust that later if you want. Now I'm gonna add a 1/4 or 6 cups of low sodium veggie stock. You can use chicken stock also, just make sure it's low sodium because as always, you wanna control the amount of salt in your dish. And to reinforce even more of those fall flavors as if we haven't done enough yet, I'm gonna reach for some maple syrup, the good stuff. And I'm gonna put about 1 tablespoon in now and maybe add some more later on after we check it for seasoning. And I know it's early, but you can already see the color of the pumpkin soup is that nice, vibrant, dark orange. It's only gonna get better. Now, bring this pot to a boil, reduce it to a simmer, and let it go for 30 or 45 minutes. In the meantime, maybe we can toss one of these giant pumpkins off the roof. It's been 30 minutes, and you can see the soup has reduced nicely. Now we have to make it smooth, creamy, and dreamy, and the only way to do that is blend away, my friends. And you can see as soon as I start pureeing up that pumpkin, it gets nice and creamy, but in a natural way. Now, if the soup's gotten a little too thick for you, just go ahead and add a little more veggie stock or some water. Wow, the pumpkin flavor is intense, but definitely needs a kick of salt. And I want to bring out that natural pumpkin flavor, so I'm going to put another tablespoon or a good shot of maple syrup in there. All right, let's go ahead and plate our roasted pumpkin soup. Looks absolutely perfect. And now let's garnish the soup with some toasted pumpkin seeds, which are highly addictive, and I had to hide them from my wife while filming this because she was eating all of them. Let's place one of these crispy sage leaves down here. To make that, heat up 3 tablespoons of olive oil in a non-stick pan and just fry the sage leaves for a couple minutes until they're crispy. And then use some of the olive oil that we fried the sage leaf in and garnish, because it has some of that sage flavor in it and it's going to reinforce that flavor. And what did I tell you? Fall in a bowl. My roasted pumpkin soup with fried sage leaves and sage oil. Guys, if you want the recipe, it's below in the description box. Try it out, let me know how it is, and while you're at it, click that subscribe button. I am hooking up all my fellow home cooks with new recipes every single week. And also, check out the spooktacular Halloween collaboration with me and 9 other tastemakers. The link is right here in the end card. See ya!